everybody, welcome back to our video. My name is Lindsay and I am the fantasy fan.
And I'm Danielle, your resident romantic, and we are friends
till the book ends. And today we are bringing you a really fun video. Danielle and I have scoured the internet and we have come up with our most anticipated 2021 releases. So we are pumped, we are ready, we've got our list down, and we are excited to share with you guys the books that we are most looking forward to in the upcoming year.
I don't have near as many as Lindsay, so I'm going to let her kick the video off.
Yeah, so my problem is sequels, right? I mentioned in a previous video that I'm terrible about reading sequels, I'm terrible about getting to sequels, but there are a couple sequels coming out in 2021 that are on my list. I will get to them this year, I promise. A couple of them are Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. That is the second book in the Last Hours series. Obviously, I think this one's on a lot of people's list. I'm also looking forward to A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas, which is the fourth book in the ACOTAR series. So another one that has been highly anticipated. A couple lesser known books that are going to be coming out. The Serpent's Curse by Lisa Maxwell is a third book in the Last Magician series, which I think is a very underrated book series that's highly comparable to the Diviners. So if you like the Diviners, I think you'd like the Serpent's Curse or the Last Magician. You would like the Last Magician because you have to start with the first book because that's how reading works.
In case you didn't know, that is indeed how it works. Just so we're all clear.
Duh. Wings of Shadow by Nikki Palpretto is the third and I think final book in the Crown of Feathers trilogy. And I'm also really pumped for Nowhere by Brandon Sanderson, which is the third book in the Skyward series, but there is no release date on that. But Brandon Sanderson pumps out books, so I'm assuming that we're going to see it towards the end of 2021. But it has, I think, been confirmed for a 2021 release date, but we just don't have a specific date yet. But those are kind of the series sequels that I am looking forward to that I'm not going to give a synopsis for because spoilers, but definitely looking forward to them. So the first book that I am really looking forward to is A Taste for Love by Jennifer Yen, which releases on February 2nd. And this book is following a high school senior. Her name's Liza, and she kind of has it all going for her. She's smart, she's funny, she's nice, and she also has a love of baking that her mom gave her. But her mom is kind of a very traditional style woman, and she really embraces her Asian culture and Asian heritage, and Liza, not so much. So her mom kind of sets up this baking competition and asks Liza to help her with it. And it turns out that all of the baking contestants are eligible young Asian men from the community that are entering it. So her mom has kind of handpicked these dates for her that way. And it just sounds really cute and really fun and fluffy. But I love a good, like, mother is setting the kids up on a date kind of trope. So I'm really excited to get to that one this year.
If you ever read it, let me know how it goes, because love and baking, anytime you put that in a book, right? I'm going to be interested.
What could be wrong?
The first one on the 2021 releases on my list that I'm super excited to get to is called One of the Good Ones by Maritza and Micah Mulite. I haven't really heard of these authors before, but it sounds like it's going to be a book that is, it's a YA novel, of course. I think all of my books are YA novels. But it focuses on two sisters, Happy and Jemmy. They are shocked when their other sister, who's a huge activist, gets killed as a result of police brutality. This one just struck me because if you've been tuning into America, there's a lot surrounding activism and rights for everyone and, you know, being diversified. So I'm excited to see how this book takes it, because it is fiction, of course, but it touches on a strong subject. Yeah. So I'm just kind of excited.
The next book that I'm also really pumped for is called The Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Boulay, and it is releasing on March 2nd. And this one is following a girl named, I think it's pronounced Donis. She is biracial. She is part of the Ojibwe tribe, and I think she's also white, so she kind of feels like she's not belonging in either world. She kind of has this dream of she wants to study medicine, she wants to be a doctor, but some sort of tragedy strikes her family, and that dream is kind of put on hold. But the only bright spot for her is there's a boy on her brother's hockey team that she kind of falls in love with, but he is keeping some sort of big secret from her, and from the synopsis, it sounds like she witnesses a shocking murder, and she is kind of thrust into some sort of criminal investigation where she has to go undercover. And I picked this one as one of my most anticipated reads because I'm trying to diversify books that I'm reading, because This year I read quite a few books written by Indigenous and Native authors, and I really enjoyed all of them. And this one was on my radar before I really even knew what it was about, but it's got crime, it's got themes of like identity, and I'm really excited to kind of see where it goes. It sounds really interesting, and I have seen it on a couple other people's most anticipated, so I'm really pumped for it.
Good. Sounds exciting. Another one on my list is Siri, Who Am I? By Sam Tashida. I'm not quite sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I think that's how it's pronounced. Basically, a powerful Instagram influencer, her name is Mia, she gets amnesia from an accident that happens, and the only way for her to figure out who she was is she basically goes through her social media, Instagram, Facebook, etc., to try and piece together who the person was that she is. There's not a whole lot that I got from the synopsis at first, but I like the amnesia part. I like the fact
love
that
a good amnesia
Yes.
storyline.
But I also like that it's kind of rooted in the 21st century because it's social media. It's like trying to figure out who you are by social media. So I'm thrilled to see how that goes.
That one does sound good. Who doesn't love a good amnesia plotline, right?
I know,
They
right?
always turn out really good. Dramatic, but good.
A lot of crying involved.
Always.
But it doesn't sound like there's going to be a love story involved, which usually the love stories and amnesia stories are where all the crying comes in. So.
Right. So the next book that I'm anticipating is Cast in Firelight by Dana Swift, and this one actually comes out January 19th, so I don't have too much time to wait for it. It's a fantasy duology, so I love a good duology, about two royal heirs who are betrothed to be married, but whose loyalties are torn, and a ruthless enemy who threatens their world. And it sounds like the two are it's going to be an enemies to lovers romance, which
what a surprise!
we all know is my favorite trope. But the girl, her name is Adra. She is the royal heir to a country, and she's also a talented witch on the cusp of taking this like important test. And the male main character's name is Jatine, and he is the royal heir to a different different country. And he's a competitive wizard who's mastered like all of the magic. So the two main characters, I think, are betrothed to each other, and I don't think that they like each other. It says that there's some sort of rivalry. Only Destiny has other plans for them. So I think the two meet under different circumstances, and they don't tell each other their real names or their royal identities. So I think they're going to get to know each other as just like humans first, and then it's going to come out later that they're actually betrothed to each other. So I'm kind of excited to see how that's reconciled, and it sounds really good, and it obviously comes out really soon, so hopefully I will get to it around the end of January, early February.
I only respect you for enjoying books that have a hate-to-love story in them.
It's just my favorite.
The next one on my list is Makeup Breakup. It is written by Lily Manon, which I believe is the pseudonym for Sandia Manon, if I'm pronouncing that all correctly. It sounds like a feud between two people. It is a girl who develops an app that is made for you to try and find your true love, and a guy who's an app developer who made an app that is supposed to make it quick and efficient to break up with someone. Ironically, it is sounding like a hate-to-love story. I'm taking a chapter out of Lindsay's book, and I'm trying it. It just sounds cute, because I've seen many movies where it involves apps about love, and it just always ends up being cute, and I'm already, like, picturing all the different scenes that this is gonna have. Basically, I didn't finish the synopsis. I got caught up in the romance of it. But basically, they end up working in the same office together somehow, and they feud against which app is better, because they're different apps. So I'm just excited.
Well, let me know if you like that one. If you like it, I'll probably read it. Because I've read other Sandia Manon books, and I really enjoyed them. A lot of them actually have tech as kind of the forefront. So, yeah, I think that's kind of a common theme. But that sounds so good. And if you like it and it's a hate to love, then I'll probably like it. So.
I know. I already got caught off guard just thinking about the love part. I'm, like, excited right now. I'm beaming.
Part. The next book that I'm really pumped for is Survive the Night by Riley Sager. And this one comes out in July 6th to be exact. And this is another thriller, so he is best known for writing thriller books. I have read, I think, 3 out of his 4 books that he currently has out. One of them was a 5-star, one was a 4-star, and one was a 3-star. So it's kind of been all over the place. So I'm really pumped for this one because it is set in 1991. We got George H.W. in the White House. There's a college student, her name's Charlie Jordan, and she gets into a car with a man who might be a serial killer. Now, I don't know why she gets into the car with him. That's rule number 1. Don't do that. But she's there. The synopsis is saying that it's kind of following a cat and mouse game played out throughout the night. And it's happening, obviously, during a time period when you don't have cell phones. So the only way that you can call for help is through a payphone, which is terrifying to us now, right? In the 21st century, it sounds horrible. She has to do one thing, and to win is to survive the night. So I thought that was kind of an interesting kind of serial killer cat and mouse situation, and I have enjoyed a couple of his books. One has been kind of meh, but this I feel like is going to be a really, really good one, especially a summer read. It sounds awesome, so can't wait for that.
Well, now, does it say in the synopsis, does she know that the guy in the car is a serial killer?
I don't think she knows when she gets in with him, but she finds out as they're driving to the destination, because he starts taking her down roads and paths that they're not supposed to be going on, and I think he gets real weird and creepy real fast. So
I was gonna say, if she knew he was a serial killer, that's just a bad book.
That's just
no one wants to read a book someone willingly walking into a trap.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a surprise. But yeah, don't hitchhike, don't get into car with strangers. So that's what you have to take from that.
Another one for me is called Hot British Boyfriend by Christy Boyce. It's basically a YA. I believe it focuses on a girl in high school. She recently had I believe it was a big breakup that basically went all over school, and then they ended up taking I believe it's a school trip to England, where she meets, a hot British guy that she just wants to throw away all her troubles with. And I believe that she's trying to make it more than just kind of a one-night thing. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know a whole lot about the synopsis. We joked about not judging a book by its cover. I actually judged the book on its title, because my boyfriend is actually British, and I personally find him pretty attractive. So I saw the title of this book, and I was like, oh, that's about us, obviously. So I'm mostly just picking it because, hot British boyfriend, my hot British boyfriend. I'll be texting him the whole time I'm reading.
Well, there you go. That's Danielle's criteria for the books.
Yeah.
Has to have hot British and boyfriend in the title. What more could you ask for? So the last book that I want to chat through is a book called Pride and Premeditation by Tirzah Price. It comes out April 6th, and Pride and Prejudice is my favorite book of all time. I've enjoyed a couple Pride and Prejudice retellings, but this one sounds like something right up my alley. So this girl, she's a 17-year-old girl. Her name's Lizzie Bennet, which is obviously the main character in Pride and Prejudice. She hears about a scandalous society murder, and she sees the opportunity to prove herself as a solicitor, as a lawyer, by solving the case and ensuring justice is served. Except the man who's accused of the crime already has a lawyer, a Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy, who is the heir to the prestigious Pemberley Associates law firm. She's determined to solve the murder before Darcy can. And so the fact that Darcy is a snob doesn't help, but obviously we're setting up for a hate to love here. There's a killer on the loose, the case is going to get complicated, and Lizzie and Darcy, obviously their paths are going to cross. And I think that they're going to have to work together to make sure that they don't become the next victims of this killer. Ooh. So it's kind of got a little bit of politics, it's got intrigue, it's got love, it's got murder. Truly, what more could I ask for in a Pride and Prejudice retelling? So I'm definitely really looking forward to that one.
Fun. Last on my list for this video is From the Grave by Kresley Cole. It is, I believe, the final book in the Arcana Chronicles. If you've seen some of my other videos, I am a huge fan of Kresley Cole and the Arcana Chronicles. I'm gonna be honest, we don't have a specific release date yet. I feel like for the past kind of year and a half, it's been, it's coming soon. Yeah. I've heard talk of it's supposed to come out December 31st, 2020. I've heard talk that it might not come out till 2021. I've also heard misinformation that it already came out, which if it already came out, whoever has the copy, send it to me. So I don't know when it's coming out. I really hope it's coming out in 2021 because it is the final book. We have been waiting forever for this. I need it to come out. Someone tell me when it's coming out. If you know when it's coming out, for sure, please put in the comments.
With Kresley Cole, yes. Let us know.
And get me a book signing.
Yeah, right?
Alright guys, that is it for today. We obviously have a lot more on our list, but not enough time to go over every single one. If you have some reads that you are anticipating in 2021, make sure to leave it in the comments and let us know. And as always, give us a like or subscribe if you want to see more of our videos.
And we'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye!